After removing these 4 screws, lift this cover plate. Okay, look underneath here. This box, here at the box. Then align with these 4 screws and then remove all 4 screws.
This is the wiring of the circuit board inside the open box. You can see there are wires of different colors inside. There are 2 red ones which we need to remember. So we see there are 2 connectors inside. One of these connectors has only 2 wires, one large and one small. The other connector has 3 wires. Okay, Prussian blue, wasn't white, wasn't red. There are 3 wires. Now, going back to the connector with 2 wires, the red wire of this connector is connected to this position on the circuit board. Now, underneath this position, there will be a PTC silkscreen marking, so we can remember that this red wire is plugged into this position. As for the other red wire, it corresponds to this position over here. The other colored wires can be inserted according to their original positions. This is the specific schematic diagram of the circuit board we just disassembled.
Then we will need to replace this circuit board onto here, meaning to swap this one with this location. Then, for the specific wiring method, unplug this white wire and plug it here. Unplug this blue wire and plug it here. Unplug this white wire and plug it here. Then unplug this red wire and plug it here. And unplug this red wire and plug it here. Basically, the circuit pins of the 2 circuit boards are almost the same. You just need to unplug one and plug in another to accurately connect at this position. And then there is also this ribbon cable. Unplug it and plug it in here. So these 2 wires, after unplugging, plug them in here and there will be no problem. See, the key is to unplug one and plug in one. This time we are mainly replacing 2 boards, 1 power board and 1 display board. Then there's the safety cap, which is installed here. There's also a temperature probe, which looks like this, and this is also its accessory, the temperature probe. In total, we are replacing these items. Okay, we have just completed the connection of the wires, and now there is 1 ribbon cable and 1 temperature probe wire left. This is the old one, which is no longer needed, so we can use scissors to cut these 2 wires. Okay, and this one. Now we can set the old power circuit board aside. It's no longer needed. Okay, we've just finished cutting the wires, and the next step is to replace this display board, which means replacing it with our new display board. Then the next step is to peel off this surface sticker. Then take a screwdriver and first remove these 2 Phillips screws. When disassembling, you may need to pay attention to the back. You may need to hold this nut by hand and then loosen it.
Okay, then just remove this screw.
Okay, be careful. Make sure not to lose this screw. We will need it later. This screw. Okay, set it aside.
Then here at the bottom is the same. There is also a screw and there is a nut at the back.
Okay, let's also hold this nut by hand. Then come to the front to remove this screw. Be careful with this too. Make sure to place this screw properly.
Okay, now this is already removed.
Come, remove this. This is the keycap, and here there are 2 more keycaps. Also take them out. Okay, these are all keycaps. After removing them, these keycaps are not needed, so put them aside. Then next, you need to remove these 4 screws to complete the disassembly of the display panel. Be careful, do not lose these screws that secure the display board. These 4 screws need to be kept properly. Alright, now we can remove this display panel. Okay. Then now we are at this notch direction and the ribbon cable is installed from this plate. Okay, this is the new display board. Then install it, align the 4 holes, and then screw in the 4 screws that were just removed one by one. Okay, now the assembly of the display board and the plastic shell is complete. The 4 screws have just been secured, and the next step is to install the keycaps, which are placed here. Yes, cover it over this button. Okay, now the assembly of the 4 button caps is complete. The next step is to put this plastic shell back in its original position, and the installation has a specific direction, so you need to pay attention to the direction. Reinstall this ribbon cable facing up back to its original position. Then you need to align this hole with this hole. The 2 holes on the plastic shell need to be aligned. Then I place it like this, place it like this. Then take out the screw we just had. First tighten the screw, insert it into this. Okay, then do the same for the bottom. You can also tighten it from below. Alright, now hold the plastic shell with one hand and slowly screw in the nut with the other hand. Additionally, do the same with the other one, then screw in the nut. Finally, we use this Phillips screwdriver to reattach it. Be sure to hold this nut with your hand to tighten it, and tighten this screw. It's the same below.
Pay attention here. The screws need to be tightened a bit more here.
Okay, we have completed a part replacement on this display panel. Take out the old power circuit board, then remove the old power circuit board and install the new one into this black box. Okay, mainly remove these 2 screws here. Okay, the old one can be set aside, this old one, then install the new one. Then align the holes on both sides, and once aligned, you can install it.
Oh. Well, completed this new power circuit board assembled into this box, the black box.
Alright, in this step we need to remove the temperature probe and then prepare a hex wrench to take it off. When it's loosened enough, we can use our hands to unscrew it. This one. Okay. Then take this off and remove the nut.
Then just put this down and it's done. Next, we need to replace this temperature probe. Remove the previous temperature probe, the one that was just cut off, and set it aside as it's no longer needed. Then in this step, you need to separately remove this nut, then take this, take it to the temperature probe, and from inside the tube, on this side of the cylinder, the temperature probe hole is here. Then pass it through like this. Pass it through. Okay, after threading it through like this, place it at the bottom, place it at the base. Okay, just like that. Then come to the back of the cylinder here. Come to the back of the cylinder here and hold it with your hand. Hold it tight.
Then pass this nut through the wire here. Pass it through. Okay. Then use your hand to tighten it a bit here.
All right. Now let's put the tube back upright. Okay. Right here. Let's continue tightening this nut. Now we need our hex wrench.
Okay, so just tighten this.
If this nut cannot be tightened, and when you rotate this nut, the screw also moves and the temperature probe rotates with the nut, then we need to use pliers to help us tighten it. But then, with the pliers, grip the screw of the temperature probe and use a hex wrench to turn the nut below like this, and like this. This way you can tighten the temperature probe. The next step is to install this plastic terminal. It doesn't require direction differentiation. You can connect the two wires in any way. However, when connecting, be sure to find the side of the plastic terminal with the notch, with the notched side facing up, and then find the wire, this part of the wire, find the part with the protrusion. The protrusion, here is the protruding part.
Can you see this raised part?
This raised part, then like this, the notch and the raised part in the same direction, then insert it like this. Now look, this way it can be secured. Then the other one is the same. Here the raised part, the little piece that is lifted, aligns with the notch in the same direction. Like this, insert it like this. Okay, now the connection of these two wires is complete, and this
plastic terminal needs to be inserted into this terminal on the power circuit board. Then, with the clamping device on this end, insert it towards the end of the power circuit board. Okay, make sure it is securely connected. Press it. Then the next step is to find this display panel. The display panel's ribbon cable is connected to this plastic terminal. Then you can see that the terminal on the power circuit board has 2 notches, and we also find that the ribbon cable on the display board has 2 protrusions, this protrusion and this protrusion. Then align the protrusion towards the notch, insert it this way, press firmly on both sides, and the ribbon cable connection will be completed. Okay, now after we finish connecting the wires, we need to apply some glue here to prevent the wires from coming loose. You need to use this hot glue gun and then apply some glue at this ribbon cable area. After applying the hot melt glue, you need to check here. One thing is to see if the connector of the ribbon cable and the connector of the circuit board are completely covered by the hot melt glue on both the top and bottom terminals. Similarly here, the hot melt glue needs to cover both the upper and lower terminals to ensure a secure connection that won't fall off or fail. Now, these wires need to be arranged into the slots on both sides of the black plastic shell.
Okay. Arrange it like this into the roasting rack. Okay, our next step is to align the 4 screw holes on the base plate with the 4 screw holes on the black plastic shell. Then, when aligning here, be aware that this base has 2 directions. One is this direction. It can be locked like this, and it can also be locked like this. We need to use this side. Use this direction to lock the circuit board. First, we insert a screw, then find the right position, align this hole with that hole, and then like this. Come on.
Okay, a little more familiar. Good. Okay, now we film here. Okay, we just locked one hole, then start locking a diagonal hole, lock the diagonal hole, then find the diagonal position and lock it in. Okay, this doesn't need to be locked too tightly, this one. Okay, start. Now, this hole, you can see the black plastic shell below is also aligned, this plastic shell. Then you can also lock this.
Okay, then the last one.
Okay, now we have completed the assembly of the plastic base shell and the bottom plate. We have just finished installing the black plastic shell, and now we will start installing the bottom plate. Now, when we install the base plate, we need to align the 4 holes of the base plate with the 4 holes underneath. We can rotate it. Looking at this hole, we can look at the hole, rotate to find the hole underneath, and then smoothly place the base plate down.
put it down. Okay, now you can see that the holes on our base plate align with the holes inside the cylinder below. So we can start screwing them together.
We just used this screw.
Okay.
Okay, when we are fastening the screws, we need to pay attention to using one screw for one washer to secure it. Let's fasten them one by one.
Now, 第二个.
Let me tell you how to align this face sticker with the button and the screen.
我们对准的一个依据是使用这个面贴的一个透明视窗跟这个屏幕去对齐。那对齐的话，首先我们要注意这个螺丝它不能露出来，上下两个螺丝不能露出来。然后如果是贴歪的话，贴偏了，你看筒的一个金属筒身会露出来，贴偏这边的话，金属筒身也会露出来。那如果贴上面贴偏的话，会看到银角。所以我们正确的一个贴的位置就是贴下去，看不到黑框。四周看不到一个金属黑框，看不到上下两个螺丝，然后外观上面去看，整个面贴是齐平的，是一个很平的状态，不会说是歪在这边。We must ensure that the appearance remains flat. Now I will peel off this backing adhesive. Okay, now I'm going to attach it based on the perpendicular relationship between this transparent window and the screen.
Okay, after we finish sticking it, we need to power it on to test if it's placed correctly. Then click this switch, then click either the plus or minus sign, and then press its exit button.
Okay, then you can see that both rows of numbers are very neat and also very level. This way, it's applied correctly